Nate Oats and company pick up a huge addition to the 2025 Alabama basketball squad. Stick around. This is way offsides. Hey, you thought I was going to say the thing, didn't you? Well, not today. We're going to swap it up because we're not talking about football today. We're talking about basketball. Over the years, thanks to a man named Nathaniel Oats, a man from Buffalo, Alabama fans have not just enjoyed success on the college football gridiron, but they have on the hardwood as well. They've watched the likes of Brendan Miller, J.D. Davidson, so many names being writ in crimson flame in Coleman Coliseum. Alabama has made a Final Four and made it to the Elite Eight last season. And it is at some point natty or bust for Nate Oats and company. Alabama is a rising star in the college basketball world. And at some point it's going to happen. It's just going to take the right roster. Now, much like college football, college basketball has its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. I would say even more so than any other college sport because these units are much smaller. The rosters are smaller. Alabama, after making a Final Four run, losing to Duke, sees the exit of several star players, including Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, Jaron Stevenson, Mo Diabate. Some of these players graduated out. Others decided to go get paid by Kentucky or North Carolina. Either way, Alabama now has to refill and reload their roster. And they've done just that. They've had a pretty good portal run this spring. Nate Oats has been busy doing work. And today is no different. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Alabama basketball squad, 6'8", 190 pounds. Tarleton State. He is your newest member of the Alabama basketball team. Now, what does this mean for Alabama? It's hard to know, to be honest. I like this player. I think a lot of us have been watching him. He has been one that we've thought Alabama had a really good chance for. And after Coward committed to Duke, this is where he lands with the Tide. Now let's talk about him in 2024, 2025. He averaged 11 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 1.5 assists a game. And he shot around 46%. So not bad. It's good production. The forward, the big man. Now he comes to, and just looking at him on video, on tape, you know, Alabama fans are going to say one thing, is that they want a meteor guy at forward. They want somebody who's bigger, who's more physical. Most of the Final Four teams, if not all of the Final Four teams in 2025 March Madness, the NCAA Tournament, had that. Alabama did finally, but it wasn't necessarily enough. Alabama was still relying heavily on the 3 ball. They're going to do that. That's Nate Oats' style, and eventually it's going to win them a championship. But now it's obvious to me that Nate Oats is looking for that big man who's not just a big man and can rebound for you, but who can also shoot. He's got a guy shooting around 50%. This is the freshman of the year out of the WAC. Had some really good games looking at his season last year. Let's go through this here. Played a lot of minutes most of the season. Shot, 1 for 100. It's tough for me. It's tough because there's so many good players that enter the portal in the college basketball season who, want to run to Duke or run to North Carolina, or at this point, I hate to say it, but Auburn, or now it's going to be Florida since they're coming off a national championship. It's hard to wrap your head around Bama pulling guys out from lower level leagues, right? But these guys aren't necessarily scrubs. They may have just not gotten the look that they deserve coming out of high school. There's a lot of basketball talent that comes out of high school. Or they may just needed to go somewhere, play for a little bit, develop into their game, maybe even their body. And I trust Nate Oats. I trust him to evaluate talent. It's done well for Alabama so far. He's gotten Alabama to a level where they've never been, especially if you want to consistency wise. Alabama's never been this good consistently in basketball, and it's fun. Finally, it's fun. They're competitive with the Dukes. They're competitive. Well, sometimes they're competitive with the Auburns. They're competitive with the Floridas. They're competitive with the Kentuckys. I mean, Alabama beat Kentucky 3 times last year, right? Probably why Kentucky went and raided their roster. But a lot, I'm seeing mixed emotions about this pickup for Alabama, because a lot of folks want Nate Oats to go and put together a superstar roster out of the transfer portal. Well, look, that's just not going to happen. Alabama's NIL, we all know, it should be no surprise, the primary focus of Alabama's NIL is going to be in football. It's not saying they're not spending a hell of a lot of money in basketball. They are, but they're also not going to overpay for somebody. I think that probably showed with AJ, during the offseason coming out of high school. A lot of people thought he was going to land at Alabama, and he didn't. Well, Alabama didn't want to get in a bidding war. So, and then you had to watch Alabama have a just historic 3-point shooting night against his future team. Tough times. Tough times. But this guy coming out of high school was a 3-star prospect. He was the number 20 basketball player in the state of Texas. Transfer portal, not much different. He's overall 88. And so it's a good depth pickup for Alabama at a position where they're going to need it moving forward. It's not a confidence builder for Alabama fans, because like I said, Alabama fans are expecting Bama to go and get whoever they want in basketball. Well, although Alabama is getting better, they are getting better. They're showing more consistency. They've got one of the top 5 head coaches in college basketball. Alabama doesn't have the prestige that they do in football to say, hey, I want you, come play here. And the kid goes, yes, sir, absolutely. Alabama doesn't have that prestige in basketball yet. They're working towards it. And Nate Oats could be the Nick Saban of college basketball at some point. But he came in at a weird time where things were changing with NIL. They're changing with these transfer portals. It's also hard when you go and get kids and they're one and done, and you're having to constantly revamp and reload your roster. So I think that they are doing exactly what they should be doing in Tuscaloosa. But it leads me to wonder, obviously, Alabama's going to field Aiden Holloway. There is a very strong chance that they bring back Rylan Griffin. And there's even some murmuring that if he doesn't go in the top 15, LeBaron Philon might come back. I think he's drafting, but we'll see. I mean, according to him, you never know. He said those words, not me. So I want to know from you, how do you feel about the job Alabama's done in the transfer portal in basketball? Do you think that Alabama's being competitive enough? Are they throwing around enough money to make it to another Final Four, to actually win a national championship in basketball? Are they recruiting well enough at the high school ranks? What do you want to see differently? And while you're at it, make sure you like and subscribe when you leave that comment. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. You all know we absolutely are nuts about you, because you guys are the best. So we wish you nothing but the best. Peace, love, happiness. Wash your hands, say your prayers, read your Bibles. Horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide, Paul.